In this video, we're going to be replacing a few of these electrical connectors that have gotten pretty destroyed. A lot of them, the locking tabs have broken, but I've never replaced any of these, and I'm kind of wary about doing it. It's little plastic, you want to get it right. So I'm doing just a few. They're actually, you know, when you add them up, they can get pretty pricey. They're like anywhere from $5 to $15 a piece. So if you have a bunch of them, so I'm doing 4 in this video, which will hopefully give me kind of a grasp of doing it, and then I may do more in the future. I should do at some point the fuel injector ones and things like that, but this one you could see it's on his last leg, and I had recently replaced this valve, so you know, so the valves don't get destroyed through water or whatever. So the first one I'm doing is this one, and we see when we're looking at it down like this, the black and yellow wire is on the left and the green is on the right. So my understanding, the first thing I need to do is remove this little white tab, which with screwdrivers I should be able to pry out of there. So let me try that. Oh boy. So one of the fortunate things about when you're likely doing this procedure is that the connector will be very brittle. So, and since you're replacing it, you know, you don't want to go after this until you have the replacement. So I pretty much had to destroy this to get it out, but fortunately everything was so brittle that it was able to kind of tear it apart. So you want to be careful when you're doing that, that there will be a little piece of the clip still remaining, and I'm trying to make sure that I got all the little pieces of plastic out. I think I did, but it's definitely good to check. Alright, and then definitely you want to take a bunch of pictures so that you put them in the right order. You don't want to cause any issues. So now let's go see putting this into the new one. Here we see the old one on the right and the new one on the left. I marked it up with a pen. For whatever reason, they changed the colors of both the rubber and the plastic, but you can see very slightly the numbers 11156, 11156, and I actually got this from a video I'll link in the description, where you append or you prefix the numbers 90980. So we'll write that. So 90980, and we see here that's what gives us the housing connector number 11156, and then that's the number. And I wrote a little bit because it was nearly impossible to see the numbers on the white one, but with a little bit of pen ink we're able to see it. So this looks to be correct. The locking tab is long gone, but what I was talking about, so you want to make sure that you put the wires in the right way the first time, because once it engages those clips, it's going to be very hard to get out, and you may break the new clips. So we see that there's these clips in there, that's what engages the wire, and then there's this little locking tab which you put on after. So I'm going to go out with just this, and we're going to try to put this on the right way. Alright, so I got my first one in. We see there black and yellow facing down, green on the upside. Now the next one we're going to do, which is part of the same little section of wiring, is this one. And this one, the way this one orients is blue is down, and it looks like, I guess, black and yellow is up. A little note about how these connectors come from Toyota. They come with this locking, I guess the second locking mechanism in, and in the last one I actually took it out, thinking that I was going to need to take it out, but I think the way they designed it is that it has 2 tabs, one further back that holds it in, you know, so that when they deliver it to you, and then another one which locks it in, you know, once you have the cable in, which is a pretty smart design, because I actually ordered, before I got the Toyota ones, I ordered some of these from Amazon, some Chinese ones, and they have all these tabs out, which is what made me think. But I think the Toyota way is actually better, where these tabs are already in and you just need to slide the wires in and then push it in. So yeah, good job, Toyota. At least that's what I think. I'll report back. All right, so I got all these in. I would say some tips is, especially for these two pieces, you have to kind of put both connectors in at the same time, or else you're going to be cutting a little bit of the insulation, just because of the clearance you need to, you know, pull the pin back and give you space to put it in. Other than that, it was pretty simple. The hardest part was taking them out. I gave myself a little cut there. It's kind of hard to see because it was kind of razor thin using the little jeweler's screwdriver, but that's all you really need as far as tools. And I was correct in assuming that the reason that they have that tab in is you're not supposed to take it out. You're just supposed to pop the wires in and then push that back, and then it's there. So this is pretty much my tool of choice here to get in there and pry it all out. I have one left to do in this round. I mean, almost all of them are broken in some way, but this one's in really bad shape, so I'm going to do that one next. But yeah, not a bad repair. So here is the end result. Well, this is the before. So this is one of those evap valves, and I'm doing this, you know, you could see it, but I'm also doing it to check my work. So this is the before, and this is the after. So we see the green on top and the black and yellow on the bottom. Here's the next connector, black and yellow on the top, blue on the bottom, black and yellow on the top, blue on the bottom. Here's the next connector, red and yellow on the top, black and yellow on the bottom. And this one is kind of a far away image, but you can see the red and yellow on the top and the black and yellow on the bottom. Here we have a brown on the right and a green on the left. And there we have brown on the right, green on the left. So what I want to do next, now that I have a little bit of experience doing this, is I want to go after, this is the VVTI. So we see this is 11162, so the part number should be 90980111162. So that should be the part number, and we'll go and look that up. Then I want to do the mass airflow one, which it looks like it's either 11317 or 11377. I'm not sure. Here a little bit closer, 113, I think it's 17. So we'll check that out. This is the fuel injector, 11153. So that one's nice and easy to see. And this is a little coolant temperature sensor. That looks like 11428. So those are the connectors I'm going to want to do next. So the tips are definitely don't try to take out that little locking tab. It's meant to be in there, which makes it easier to install. And you know, definitely take good records of where the cables go. And I mean, if you want to be as anal as this and just check and make sure everything lines up. I mean, depending on it is, the cables, especially for these little 2-wire connectors, which is why I wanted to do these first, because they're a bit easier. You know, there's no 3 cables to keep track of. But the main tip would be don't remove the locking tab from the new connectors, and to put both of them in at the same time, because you could see here I had to cut the insulation just a little bit there, so I could allow this, since this goes in, to be able to pull that back far enough to get it in. I had to cut that a little bit. So to avoid that, if I just kind of lined them up and, you know, put them in at the same time, that would have worked. But you learn. So that's the one that I learned from there. It wasn't a big deal. Just cut a little bit of insulation and put electrical tape over it. And we're going to see how these work. So this was fixing the many broken connectors, electrical connectors, on my 99 ES300. Thanks for watching.